Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Today is Friday, the 7th day of May. It's National Packaging Design Day. And that's something a lot of people don't even think of. They just take for granted, the packaging. Right. And somebody takes a lot of time and effort to make sure that looks just perfect.
Some packages are so
like
cool.
a work of art.
Yeah.
National Paste Up Day today. I don't even know what that is. National Barrier Awareness Day. National Roast Leg of Lamb Day. I mean, you got to celebrate it someday. National Military Spouse Appreciation Day, and that is a very important thing.
That's very important.
National Provider Appreciation Day, also important. National Space Day, and School Lunch Hero Day. All of these things happening today. And I am super excited to share an interview with you today that I recorded earlier this week with John Ratzenberger. He was Cliff Clavin on Cheers.
I love John
He's
Ratzenberger.
also voiced every single Pixar movie. His voice has been in it for at least one character. We talked on Wednesday for National Skilled Trades Day. We're going to keep celebrating it all this week. We're going to tell you all about it coming up in a bit.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A new study on home security found over half of Americans, 53% by the way, get out of bed to investigate unusual noises, even though they know it's likely nothing. I'm one of those people. If we hear a noise, Heidi will say, "What was that?" And then I go wandering around the house while she's like getting a gun.
Yep.
Researchers find, by the way, 3/4 of Americans say they always double check that they lock the front door before bed. I do that every single time as well. Sometimes twice, because I'll do it, then I'll walk to the other back door and I'll go, did I already check the front door? And a new study says 1 in 5 Americans are in chronic pain right now.
Oh.
That's really sad.
That's a scary number.
It is. 1 in 5. 20% of Americans are in chronic pain.
Wow.
And I don't think that's a good number. Everybody that's in chronic pain, there are a lot of solutions out there. Maybe check into something, because that is just scary. Thanks for listening to Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At BetterCreditCards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Authorities in Arizona have arrested a man who police believe severed his finger while slashing his neighbor's car tires after an argument. A lot going on here.
Karma.
Hal Kuzer and Kevin Johnson were arrested and identified as the owner of a finger found on his neighbor's driveway.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, they said they found the finger April 15th after discovering her vehicle had 2 slashed tires. Police say a trail of blood led to a nearby residence, and that is where her husband went to the neighbor's home the day before. She told police a male neighbor joined them uninvited and became drunk and aggressive. Turns out the neighbor pushed and threatened her husband before being asked to leave. Johnson was arrested on multiple charges, including criminal damage, assault, threatening, and intimidating, and disorderly conduct. Online court records did not list an attorney who could comment on his behalf. He cut off his finger and just walked away and left it lay there?
Well, like they didn't think they'd be able to find him with his fingerprints.
Excuse me, can you show me both hands? It wasn't me. Where did your finger go? Oh, it's in the other room. It's a bad idea. It's what happens when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jennifer Lopez, or as her friends call her, J-Lo, has been hanging out with her ex-fiance, Ben Affleck, or as his friends call him, Ben Affleck, after ending her engagement to Alex Rodriguez, or as his friend call him, A-Rod. Affleck was spotted getting out of J-Lo's Cadillac Escalade last Friday. So now you know the scoop. I don't care. Did anybody care about any of that?
I really
Netflix is adding a new shuffle feature that will allow you to view do randomly selected shows or movies? No, because I see what you think I'm going to like.
There's already
No.
randomly selected shows and movies that say, hey, I think you'd enjoy
You're going to like
this.
this. I'm like, no, I'm not. There's no way I'm putting Netflix in the driver's seat. I mean, just riding co-pilot's bad enough. And the cult classic movie from the 1980s, Howard the Duck, is getting a special 4K re-release this July to mark its 35th anniversary. I'm excited about this, actually.
That movie was not good the first time.
It was, you know what? But it was so bad, it was good. I think it's actually
It was
really
so disturbing, especially that love scene.
That was kind
I could not get past that.
It's just a weird movie. Yeah, maybe not one for the kids, but it's just a weird. I'm excited. That is your big screen, little screen report, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. The Burning Man Festival canceled once again due to COVID-19 pandemic. And there's some folks online that are really sad, and there's other people that said, what is that? So apparently not everybody. Seriously, I was reading posts online, and there were a lot of people that didn't even know what this was. Have you heard of the Burning Man Festival?
I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it.
Okay. Well, but you at least knew what it was.
I've heard of it. I wouldn't say I know what it is. I know it's a festival, but I don't know what they do.
Okay.
I mean, I have a guess based off of the name.
They do not burn men, just so you know. Videos keep swirling from last weekend when hundreds of people named Josh gathered in Nebraska to fight each other with pool noodles in what they called a Josh fight.
Oh my gosh, I love that idea.
Yeah, I've got a link to the story. You can actually watch video. There's a lot of video coming out. I know some people who went to that because they were close by and it had been on the internet for like a year.
Oh, that's
and a Josh
funny.
Tagged every Josh he could find and said, "Okay, let's meet up. Let's get this straight. Only one of us gets to be Josh when this is done."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. Krispy Kreme has released a new glazed donut flavored popcorn. This is why I can't stay on a diet, man.
I actually bet that would be really good.
I know I would. That's why I can't stay on a diet very long. Because like between these people and the people at Reese's, every time I go to this checkout stand, I'm like, what are the mad
Reese's?
scientists at Reese's doing now? And McDonald's is launching a BTS meal inspired by the South Korean boy band. What?
Wow.
I'm not sure what that means. What is it going to taste like? I'm not really sure. A new report claims Prince Harry and Meghan Markle could be fully ditched from the royal family soon. So
I guess I thought that already happened.
I kind of thought so too, but apparently not. And Wendy's is in the news. They're pledging to remove potentially harmful chemicals from their packaging. Well, that's a good idea. I didn't know you had them.
Jeepers.
That's step one. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday. Our guest today is John Ratzenberger. You might know him as Cliff Clavin from Cheers. He's also been in every single Pixar film. You'll hear his voice as a character in every single one of them. And he had a really cool show on Travel Channel called John Ratzenberger's Made in America. And earlier this week was a thing called National Skilled Trades Day. And you're kind of a champion for this idea, aren't you, John?
I am. Just out of circumstance, the way I grew up, I learned a lot of those skills, the hands-on, carpentry skills, and do metal work and this and that, and how to build and sail a boat. And more, as I go through life, I realize that less and less people can do things like that, like simple carpentry work. And then I realized they canceled shop classes about 40 years ago nationwide. And I started wondering, did they do that on purpose? Because if you take skills away from people, the people have to be dependent on the government. But if people have skills like carpentry or stonemasonry or even baking, you don't need the government. You can take care of yourself and your family. And so I've always promoted the trades because it's nice to be self-sufficient. It's nice to know you can handle an emergency. And I really feel bad for people that don't have the basic skills to take care of themselves.
And on your program, John Ratzenberger's Made in America on the Travel Channel, you got to meet a lot of people who have a ton of skills, didn't you?
Yeah, building trades, how to build machines, how to operate the machines. I mean, when you look at a building site, what's the first thing that happens? You got the surveyor showing up. Next step is a bulldozer to level the land out. Now, just that bulldozer, someone has to make and build that bulldozer. So someone has to know about metal. They have to know about CNC machines. Someone has to assemble that. Somebody has to build the engine. What most people don't realize is that we're running out of those people. Because 40 years ago, the school system canceled all those classes on how to work with machines, how to work with wood, et cetera, et cetera. So now we're getting to a crisis point. People need to know how to use a tape measure. Give a yardstick to any high school student and say, show me 5 3/8. They can't do it. No one showed them how.
I feel very fortunate that I did learn a lot of skills growing up, and I know how to work with my hands, even though the majority of what I do for a living is working with my voice. And John, you're no stranger to that. You are the voice of a bunch of different characters when it comes to Disney Pixar films, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I've been working with Pixar now 27 years now, yeah.
Which I think is awesome, by the way, but how did that relationship get started?
Well, I got a call from John Lasseter, who was the head of Pixar, and they wanted to know if I wanted to be the voice of a piggy bank. So I said, sure. And then the next one I was in, and the next one I was in, and like I said, I've been in every one for about 27 years now.
And you've got such an iconic voice, and I love your voice on the characters they choose for you. Do you do a lot of voice work outside of Pixar as well?
No, I can't. No, you know what? Come to think of it, it just never occurred to me. No. I mean, I would, but maybe they think I'm exclusive to Pixar or something. Who knows?
I just find that amazing because in the voiceover world, numerous times I've seen requests for, and I quote, a voice like John Ratzenberger. Next time I see it, I'm sending them your way.
Yeah, well, I've heard so many stories like that of actors, they read the breakdown and say, I want a so-and-so type. Well, then so-and-so shows up and says, no, we don't want you. We want somebody like you. It's just funny the way the business works.
Now, speaking about work, you've got Monsters at Work coming up here real soon. Can we talk about that right now, or is that still top secret?
No, it's coming out, I think in July on Disney Cable. And it's, the offshoot of Monsters, Inc. The writer-director is a fellow named Robert Scanaway. Incredible job of keeping up Pixar standards. Because that's a very high standard. When you look at any frame of a Pixar film, it's a work of art. You can hang it on the wall. The composition, the colors, especially Coco. Did you see Coco?
Yeah, I have. Very bright and vivid, isn't it?
My jaw hit the floor. The artistry, just sitting down and drawing those things. Just incredible what they do. So really got to hand it to them. They've really raised the standards of animation in the world.
We'll be looking for you in Monsters at Work in July. Will you be Yeti once again?
I'm Yeti and one more. So I am a different character besides being Yeti.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm there.
We'll be looking for that in July. Mr. Ratzenberger, thank you again for your time today.
Well, thank you.
Again, John Ratzenberger has been our guest on this Friday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Dolphins have been trained to be used in war. Yeah, dolphins are widely known as adorable, but they're also intelligent animals. What is not widely known is these crafty creatures were used by both the United States and Soviets during the Vietnam War and the Cold War. Both countries studied the creatures for their sonar capabilities, but then they trained them to detect mines, to bring equipment to divers, to find lost equipment, and to guard submarines, amongst other nifty dolphin tricks.
Crazy?
Yeah, it's like Flipper in real life.
I love Flipper.
Yeah, Flipper was kind of fun. For those of you who don't know what Flipper is, it was a TV show back in, was that the 60s, do you think? I watched
so.
it in
was
reruns.
before my time, yeah.
I watched it in reruns, but it was a really smart dolphin. So anyway, we're way off topic. That is today's fun fact. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline, New Zealand. A prize-winning Greyhound in New Zealand was disqualified from a race after testing positive for methamphetamines.
Oh.
What? So a Greyhound dog was on meth?
Oh, well, I'm sure it wasn't.
I know it wasn't the dog's choice. No, but that is just bizarre. So I'm not exactly sure. I suppose that probably would make them run faster, but yeah, it can't be good for the dog.
Oh, jeez.
So the dog was disqualified from the race after testing positive for meth. Bad idea. But that is a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. 2 men were arrested after stabbing one another during a fight in a parking lot of a McDonald's.
They stabbed each other.
Yeah, 23-year-old Coron Patterson, 31-year-old Kyron Hamilton were treated at a hospital for minor injuries after a fight that happened at 5 p.m. I was not expecting it to be 5 p.m. This happened right outside of McDonald's. Both residents charged with aggravated assault and 2 weapons offenses before being brought into the jail. Hamilton also charged with criminal mischief. According to an online jail record, the 2 men remained held as of Wednesday morning when the story came out.
Yeah,
so
5 p.m., that's a bit early for that kind of behavior.
It really is. You shouldn't do that ever, but I mean, that's the kind of thing I would expect after like 11.
3 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, like middle of the night, that kind of, but you don't, 5 p.m.?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Took me by surprise. That is today's weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for your moment of duh, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Now, I am not taking a side on which side is the moment of duh here. I'll let you each choose for yourself. But what a bizarre story. A man was booted off an airline flight, a Southwest Airlines flight, for not wearing a mask while he was eating his Twizzlers. He said,
How do you wear a mask while you're eating Twizzlers?
Well, he said, I just got kicked off a plane because I wasn't wearing my mask in between bites while I was eating.
Wow.
The frequent flyer said in a video that he took on the plane, "That's so sad. That's so wrong," he said. It was absurd. The way I was treated was absolutely absurd. It was crazy and it wasn't fair. He was waiting for the plane to take off in Baltimore, and he had a pack of Twizzlers. A flight attendant told him, "Hey, you need to wear your mask." And he said, and kind of like ran away, he said. And he said, I'm like, oh, I guess she didn't know I was eating. Then I hear her on the loudspeaker. Everyone who's eating has to wear a mask in between bites. He didn't think much of it, but then he was asked, they turned the plane around, went back to the gate, and he was escorted off the plane. So, again, both sides, there's some weird stuff going on there. It's just, I'm not taking a side. I'm just saying, for everybody involved, this is today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, But I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Heidi, tell me, Silver Springs, Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center?
Silver Spring?
Silver Spring, Menominee Falls,
That's
Wisconsin.
a golf course.
Silver Spring is a golf course. Yeah. Good job. You are on a roll. That is 2 in a row.
Isn't that the one we just did?
I don't think so. Do you think it is?
I think it is.
I don't think so.
I think that's the one we just did
Pretty
yesterday.
sure it wasn't. No, because yesterday, let me look and see. Yesterday it was a golf course, but it was something different. I'll scroll over here and look. Silver Spring in Riverside, Rhode Island. So there's 2 different Silver Springs. Good catch, though.
Yeah.
Wow. How did I do 2 Silver Springs in a row? Man, good job. But at least you were accurate. You guessed the same both times. So for that, you get an extra golf clap. That is how we play. Is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and we have some of that today. It comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. I completely forgot what I was saying in the midst of all of this. Here's our headline. Son sells thousands of cheesesteaks to give mom last dream trip to see the Egyptian pyramids. Gloria Walker, since she was a little girl, she wanted to go to Egypt, and her son is going to help make that a reality. Her son, Dustin, said, if there's one thing in the world you can do, what would it be? She's got late-stage bladder cancer, by the way. She said, I really would like to see the pyramids. I've wanted to do that ever since I was a little girl. She didn't want to travel alone. She didn't want to go or just go with her husband. She said she wanted to go with the whole family. So this young man, who's a middle school teacher in Philadelphia, could never afford to pay for the trip for the 14-member family. He decided, I could raise some money, though, by selling cheesesteaks. So in his campaign that he put on Instagram, friends told friends, they told family, they told friends, the word got out, and he helped, everybody in there helped raise a ton of money, so he was able to afford to take his mother to see the pyramids. Guess how much he made selling these cheesesteaks?
Well, first of all, I can't even imagine how many cheesesteaks that would take, but what was the total?
Well, over $18,000.
Wow.
Yeah. He said, this trip is planned for later this year. His mother says Cleopatra never had it so good. The love is overwhelming. It's really cool. I love this story.
Your voice is cracking. You're
I just
gonna
love it.
Cry.
He says we ended up doing 94 cheesesteaks one day. He said we were just blown away. And he said, there were people that would show up that I didn't even know who they were. They were just people who knew somebody who knew somebody that said, hey, I'm here to help,
people who probably
man.
didn't even want the cheesesteak. They're just like, here's the money.
And I'm looking at a picture of the cheesesteak. I kind of want one of these cheesesteaks. Is it too late for me to get one of these? It does look darn good. I've got a link to the story, and you can see the photos and all the details and all that. It's at the bottom of the page in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.